Hello, pretty girls. Happy Friday. Hope you guys have had a wonderful week. To a lot of you guys, you're always excited about Friday, right? Because you get to have the weekend off. Friday doesn't mean anything when you work on Saturday, right? So that's okay for us too. But we are going to spend a few minutes putting together projects number 3 and 4 in the July Stamp of the Month kit. So I've been pre-recording these the last several months because the internet has just not been my friend. So we'll see kind of how it cooperates tonight. We'll hope that it goes well. So we are going to be putting together the cute little bee shaker cards. I love them. Of the projects, the 6 projects in the July Stamp of the Month kit, this is my favorite, I think. I think I like this even better than the pages. The shaker is just super, super fun. And this window with the honeycomb cardstock on front of the acetate is just super fun as well. So I hope that you guys will enjoy it. We're going to go ahead and put it together tonight. It's not going to take us very long. If you are new to my program and you guys don't maybe know how I work things, this is a monthly program I do every single month, and it is a program centered around the stamp of the month. Now, if you guys are familiar with Close to My Heart World, you know that we get a stamp every single month that's exclusive to that month, and it's the only time you can grab it. It's a $19.95 stamp set, but you can get it either for $5 with a qualifying order, or you can get it totally free with a qualifying order if you are a VIP. And so I like to piggyback on top of this incentive, and I provide pre-cut project kits for my customers. And so the kits are a little different every single month depending on what the stamp looks like. You guys can see all of this over in the blog post that I will link down below in a comment after I'm done recording the video. But this month is going to feature 2 of the 8x6 mini album pages. We do have albums and page protectors for this size, so it'll be tucked in, snug as a bug, and protected just like your large 12x12 pages. But I absolutely love these pages with the fun little hexagons. We've done some funky random stamping, and we'll put that one together this month as well. But you've got 2 mini album pages, and then you have 4 greeting cards. This design we're going to put together this evening, and then we will probably, I'm going to attempt to do this one tomorrow morning. But these cute little honeycombs here that I've colored with the markers, and look at these fun, again, lots of slicing and dicing done by myself in Cricut Design Space because it's my favorite thing to do in the whole wide world. I love it. But I have made some fun shapes here. We've done a little bit of random stamping back there, and this is just another fun little quick and easy card that we'll put together as well. So we're going to start with this one this month. We're kind of going out of order with our projects, but that's okay. I have everything kind of ready to go. You guys can get this pre-cut project kit with a $75 purchase on my shopping website, and I'll link all of that down below in the comments if you might be interested in going and taking advantage of these kits. So I will, I restock these all month long. And so it doesn't matter, even if you order on the very last day of the month, I will make sure that you get one if your order qualifies. Now the add-on kit that you guys will also see in the blog post, which is the great big 12x12 Cape Cod scrapbooking workshop pre-cut kit, that is a While Supplies Last kit, and I only have 3 of those left. So if anybody wants to qualify for one of those, it's an order of $125, and you actually get both kits. You get that one and you get this one. Okay, so those are While Supplies Last, so once they're gone, I don't restock them, just FYI. Okay, so you'll see that information in the blog post as well. And if you guys have questions about any part of this program, you can either comment below or send me a message. I'm so happy to serve in whatever way that I'm able. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and I sped it up a little bit because I can fussy cut super well, but it takes me a long time. So to save a lot of time, I went ahead and I stamped my bumblebee, trimmed it out, colored it in with the markers, and so this is set aside and ready to go. Okay, so we're going to put this shaker portion together now. Now, if you guys notice, projects 3 and project 4 are the very same projects. They are just, I flip-flop the cardstock. So this is an odd month. I don't think I've ever done a Stamp of the Month kit with only cardstock before, but I have to say I rather like it. So I used Sundance cardstock and honey butter cardstock, and we just interchanged them. So you can see this is Sundance with honey butter on the back, and then vice versa, honey butter on the front with Sundance Science on the back. You get both of these cards in your kit, and you can either choose to mix and match them like I have, or you can put the same colors on your card if you would like. It's totally up to you guys. So we're just super quickly gonna grab our journaling pen and run around the edge. You guys know that is just something that I do all of the time. I don't feel like a project is complete without the doodles around the edges. And so I'm going to do that really quickly, because if I don't do it now, here's the thing. I know me. If I don't do it now, I'll go ahead and assemble this card and put foam tape on the back, and then realize, oh my gosh, I have this card assembled and I didn't run my doodling pin around the outer edge. And it's best to do this when the card is completely flat, not popped up on foam tape, right? So let's go ahead and we'll get that done. Now I know I won't forget it because it's out of the way. So I just ran a line around there. If you guys have, if you have never taken my 2-hour doodling class, it is on my YouTube channel. I had someone ask me a while back if I would upload it so that they could watch it. It's about 4 years old. It's super fun. You make sample cards, lots of fun ideas with journaling. We talk about a lot of things. It was just a fun little social class. So if that's something that interests you guys, please feel welcome to go over to the YouTube channel and sit down with a glass of iced tea and take that class and learn some fun little doodling tricks, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and put my acetate on first. We're going to have this black frame around the outer edge of this little hexagon window, and I am always just fearful. You guys have heard me before. Liquid adhesive is not my friend. I either use too much or not enough. And anyway, we don't like each other unless we have to. So if I put my acetate on first, then if I get a little too much of my adhesive and it like spills out from underneath my black frame, it is not going to get any glue on the inside here, which is where my little bits and pieces for my shaker are going to be flying around. The green glue that I like to use is also tacky when it's dry. It also has adhesion when it's dry. And so I don't want to get glue on the inside of my window, and then even after it's dry, have all of my star confetti stick to it. That is not the idea of a shaker card, right? So if you put that adhesive down first, even if you have a little bit of glue seep out from your black frame, which I am pretty sure I probably will, it is at least not going to interfere with your shaker insides. And so you guys, it's pretty recognizable that I know that I'm going to make tons of mistakes with all of my projects, because I kind of sit around and I think about ways that I can fix those blunders, or hopefully prevent those blunders from happening. So, I'm just being real, Okay. So we have our frame on there. You know what we should have done? We should have stamped first, but we're still working with a flat surface. So this is going to be okay. So we're going to grab our stamp set and we're going to grab our stamping platform. Once you guys get used to using a stamping platform, I don't know that you'll go back to a block. There are fun things to do with blocks, but I just have to tell you, the precision and the ability to stamp multiple times with the stamping platform, I don't know that I could ever go back to not using one. So you are seeing the Misty tonight. I know that it is just a regular sentiment and I could very easily do it with a block, but Misty has become my friend. We're buddies now. And so that's what we're going to use. So I'm going to use the Just Because down here in the bottom left corner. Now there are a few other sentiments, you guys, that will fit in this little open space down here. Don't forget, you still have the inside of your card that you could stamp to if you would like to do that. But I wanted to use a sentiment that was still going to give me plenty of room for my great big chunky bumblebee to be sitting there near the bottom of this window. I could have placed one of the other larger sentiments down here, but that meant that I needed to move my bee up. Now, if you guys want to do that, that's absolutely fine. But I didn't want my bee to cover up too much of my window. So that's why I chose to use more of a thinner sentiment down there. Like I said, you guys can kind of do your own thing if you want to, swap that around. But that is kind of the method behind my madness. So we'll grab our black ink pad. And I am I am notorious for not re-inking my ink pads, so they get a little bit dry. So this is a great solution for me, because when you stamp something and the image is a little dry, you naturally need to stamp it again to give it a good, clear, crisp image, right? And so when you do that with a block, that is a little challenging for me. Like, our blocks are great, you can see right through them, right? But they are a little difficult to get lined up a second or a third time, even if you don't have hand trimmers like I do. So Misty for the win. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and we'll flip it over, and we're gonna begin building our little window where our shaker bits are going to go. Now, we're going to put foam tape around the outer edge of the card just so it doesn't crinkle and get smushed in the envelope. But what we want to do, just to save a little bit of our confetti and kind of make sure that our confetti stays up here in the window where it's going to be seen, rather than sliding all the way down to the bottom where no one sees it, we're going to make a shaped window near the inside. Okay, so this is going to feel a little counterproductive to some of you guys, because it's gonna seem a little silly to be able to put foam tape on both places, but there is a method to the madness, I promise. So we want to make sure that we are leaving that window open, but we want to get that little barrier of the foam tape fairly like close to it without going over, right? We don't want to see the back side of the foam tape on the front side of the window. What you want to make sure that you are doing is closing up any little spaces that your foam tape is not touching, right? So we're using, let's see, our star confetti. That's a little teeny tiny bitty. And so that can very easily slide out, slip out, even if you have a little teeny tiny crevice in your foam tape. So you want to make sure that your foam tape is actually touching. So I will hold it up here in a moment, to make sure that you guys can kind of see what I mean. Okay, so you struggled with that stamp of the month. I tell you what, Kim, I've really seen some cute artwork with this stamp of the month. I'm not like a super duper bee person, but I have seen some really cute projects. So I hope that maybe something that I did or something you saw elsewhere was inspiring to you. So you guys can see I have kind of gone right here next to each of the edges, because we don't want to make a little space for our foam tape or our confetti to kind of flutter out. Right now, what we're going to do, again, just so our corners don't get crumpled and smushed and that kind of thing, is we're going to go ahead and put a little bit of foam tape on the edges just to kind of keep them up flush with the rest of the window. Okay, so you don't have to go all the way around, because you're not sealing anything in. We don't have to worry about keeping any sequins from falling out down here, because we've kept them from falling out up there. So that's kind of what the backside would look like. And now we will grab our gold star confetti. I'm almost out of this stuff. I don't remember when we got this this gold star confetti. We've had it for a few years, but I am almost out. Okay. So I am going to put a good amount in there, probably more than I would put in a shaker with sequins. I feel like those sequins kind of get traffic jammed in there a little bit, so they don't want to shake around because of the size. Well, the gold star confetti is really tiny, and so it really does shake and flutter quite nicely. And so you can put several in there, and you don't have to worry about it kind of getting traffic jammed in there. That's always what I call it. I know it sounds so silly, but I don't know what else to call it. So now you're going to close it up with the smaller piece of cardstock inside your envelope. And I didn't mention, guys, but you probably saw, when you get your kits, it's all sorted and packed for you, okay? They come shipped in these cardboard mailers to keep them really well intact, so they're not going to get boogered up or anything like that. But your layout pieces are going to be in your baggie. The black ribbon with the gold glitter thread comes with it. The only thing that is consumable that is not included in your kit are whatever you guys want to put inside your 2 shaker cards. I use gold star confetti. There are other things that are neutral colored that you guys could very easily put inside your cards. And the silver glitter gems are not included either. But as I said, you guys can most definitely use from your stash. It'll only take just a small portion of a spoon, right? So then all of your pieces for your cards are all tucked down inside each of the envelopes. So it makes it really quick and easy for you guys. You're not going to spend, if you only have a few minutes of time to work on creating something, you don't have to worry about taking that precious time to have to sort out things and, get them, sort out and place where they need to go and find the right pieces. I've just done all that hard work for you guys because I want you to be able to really sit down and enjoy your kit and not have to do all the hard work, right? You can do the stamping and the trimming. That's good enough, right? And embellishing, but I'll do the hard part for you. So we're going to take, I'm going to use the darker palette of the two sides. If you guys like the lighter, go for it, flip it over. But I tend to like the darker, the true on palette color. And then this is going to just go right on top of that window. And all you want to make sure, it doesn't really matter what it looks like on the back. No one's going to see it at all. Okay. I promise. No one's going to see it. What you just want to make sure that you do is it covers up that entire outer edge of that foam tape again to keep all of those little shaker bits inside that little window. Okay. You don't want them to be able to fall out. We may put one more little bit of foam tape right here to kind of keep this middle popped up as well. Okay. Okay. So now we'll go ahead and I'm just going to put a little bit of my tape runner on here. I think it's got plenty of adhesive. I'm not worried at all about it coming off of there, but I do think that we just did this whole video out of order, didn't we? I did not re-crease my card base. These tend to be a little bit, the score line doesn't always tend to be in the middle, if you guys have noticed that. And so I always like to rescore them when I get the card bases and then crease them really well on the middle to make sure that it is perfectly lined up. And it is now, it's all good now, but that's something again that you want to do before you go and put a dimensional element on the front of your card base. So now we're just going to center this, and you guys know, like, there are so many of you guys that have told me over the years that you would recognize my artwork anywhere, even if it did not have a watermark on it, because there's just telltale signs that I do that is just, I guess, kind of signature to me maybe. And I have this thing, like this absolute, it just has to happen. I love to have that 1/8 inch border of white card base showing around the outer edge of my card. I don't know why. It does have to do with product efficiency, in part because you can get, if you leave the 1/8 inch border, here's a tip for you guys. If you make a lot of cards this size, here's a tip for you. If you don't make them like this, you guys know that our A2 size that we're using now are 4 1/4 inches wide, right? And so if you are working with a 12 inch piece of paper and you're trying to cut pieces that are 4 1/4 wide, you're gonna be able to get 2 pieces out of the span of 12 inches, right? And then you have leftover. But if you shrink that down to 4 inches wide, which is how wide this is, so you don't really miss anything, right? I feel like it really adds a fun element to the artwork because of that border around the outer edge. Many times I'll actually take my doodling pin and I will run around the outer edge of this white that's showing, just to give a little bit of a fun little element to that. I put it on the yellow, therefore I didn't put it on the white because I didn't really want 2 lines there right next to each other. But the doodling pen is a good way to kind of fill in that white space if it bothers you. I personally think it just looks very nice and crisp around the outer edge. But the fun part about that regarding product efficiency is that this is 4 inches wide. And so it's easy math, right? A 12 inch wide piece of cardstock, and you're cutting cards and you are working on 4 inch wide pieces now, you're going to get 3 of them and you're going to have 0 left over. So for a person like me that makes lots of kits every single month for my customers, that is a great way to be efficient with your product. Not only does it give you a fun decorative element with the frame around the outer edge, but it's going to use up that entire row of that cardstock and you're not going to have any leftovers. And to me, a person who does what I do, that's really exciting. So thank you, Jennifer. I am so grateful. I am so glad that you like it. This one is my favorite too. Of all 6 projects, this one is totally my favorite. So I'm going to move him down just a little bit. I'm not going to have him overlapping my just because, but he's going to be right on top of it. So I want the majority of my little hexagon window to show, and he'll overlap it just a little teeny tiny bit, but he is not going to cover up our sentiment. Okay. So, this was, again, I think I mentioned that earlier. It was just absolutely, you guys, hours upon hours sitting down and welding and slicing and dicing hexagons inside the Cricut file. It was crazy. So It's what I love to do. I absolutely love playing in Cricut. It's my favorite. It's probably my favorite part of my business. But it was many hours to do that. But I think that it really tied in super well with the little bumblebees. So now I have already done these ahead of time as well, guys, just because it takes just a few minutes to dry. And I didn't want the video to be super duper long because I'm a little long-winded. We know this. We've met me, right? So I've already done it before I turn the camera on, but I just want to show you, just in case we have anyone that has never seen this trick or you're not familiar with it. I love the clear bling or the neutral bling, and to use our alcohol markers to color them. And so I just have my black tri-blend marker, and you can put a couple coats. I usually will put at least 2 coats on the bling. It depends. Sometimes if you have a really light color, you might need to put 3 coats on there, but you'll want to let it dry for a second and you can go back in with another coat. The fun thing about the silver glitter gems, and when you put alcohol marker on top, I would think that it would cover up, you know, the glitter inside the gems, but it really doesn't. You can still see them sparkly. It is very cool, but this works on all different things. So you can do, like, if you have silver brads, or maybe even like your silver staples, those cute little staples that we use in projects sometimes, sparkles, bitty sparkles, the glitter gems, your acrylic shapes, your wooden shapes. I mean, it's just crazy, you guys. You can do it with the dots. If there is a color of dot that you don't have, like in the workshop that is coming up for August that you guys saw all the print and cut images on my Facebook page. I'm super proud of it. I think you're going to love it, by the way. I use a sinking ton of black dots, and my trick, again, Madam Frugal Pants, my trick is to go through and find all of your odds and ends of your dots, your all different colors that you have here and there, and color them all with the black marker, and it gives you all matching black dots now. And so I used a ton of dots, and they were all different colors in the workshop, but you can't see because I cover them up with the black marker. If you guys don't have an alcohol black marker, a Sharpie will work really well too. It gives it a really nice coat. In fact, the coating on the Sharpie might be better than the alcohol marker, but you're gonna lose the glitter showing through. When I color with the Sharpies, I don't see the glitter like I do with the alcohol markers. So just a little side note there, okay? So I went ahead and I colored in a bunch of the glitter gems with my marker. So I'm using both sizes, the large and the small. But they're already dry and they have all their coats on them, so you guys don't have to watch me do that and wait on me to do that, right? So I'm just going to spread a few of them around here, and then our card will be done. Like I mentioned, guys, I still have these that you guys can earn with your website order. Totally free. I will ship them right to you. And what I always love to mention, because I get a question about it at least one time a month, a minimum of one time a month, these are a thank you gift from me. There are no strings attached with these kits. You don't have to be a VIP with me to earn a kit for free. You do not have to order every single month. You're not joining a club. You're not committing to anything. This is just simply a thank you gift for me. I have a heart to give. I love to give gifts. It's one of my love languages. And so I like to send a little thank you to the ladies that choose to do business with me. Thus, essentially putting food on my family's table. That is a real thing. So this is just my way of thanking them. So no commitment whatsoever. I am in the United States, Linda. I'm in Missouri, actually, but I have customers all over the United States. So if I can help you with anything in the United States, if you live in the United States and I can help you with anything with close to my heart, shout at me. I will be your girl. So they're totally commitment free, guys. It's literally just a thank you gift that comes in the mail. And like I said, this is quick recap. You can get the 6 project kit. So the 4 cards this month, the 2 mini album pages. It's all pre-cut papers, everything that is all the consumables that are used in the kits are all included for you in the kit, with the exception of the silver glitter gems. So just, you can grab something in your stash, okay? and the little, half a spoonful of the confetti that went inside our shaker card. Now, if you guys do not want to create a shaker card, some of you, I know, we can still be friends. We can still be friends. Linda, I can send you the website link to my friend in Canada, if you would like to do that. But my favorite thing, or one of the things that I hear from some of you guys is that you are not fans of dimension on cards or pages. It's okay. We can still be friends. I like all the fat and chunky things. I like my artwork to stand up off of the surface. I know that some of you guys don't. So here's the thing. If you really like this card, but you're like, Suze, I don't really like shakers, are not my thing. You just omit the foam tape and omit the shakers, and you still have the fun little B card. You have the two-tone cardstock underneath, so you're still going to have that really great comparison between the Sundance cardstock with the hexagons and then the honey butter on the back. That will be really cute. So you're going to have a lot of really cute elements on this card if you just decide to omit the shaker altogether. So don't use the foam tape, don't use the shaker pieces, and you will be set up and ready to go, okay? But all 6 projects are free with your $75 order on my website. I'm going to put all the links down in the comments below this video. You're also going to have the files. They will be emailed to you, or you guys can grab them from this QR code here. That's going to take you to the folder with the files. And the cool thing about the files is that you're going to have your photos that are going to show you how to put the projects together if you want to just assemble them really quickly based on the photos, which most people are able to do that because my work is not difficult at all. But then there is also a cutting file with the Cricut Design Space link. And so that is just, in my opinion, is just an additional resource for you guys to be able to get a lot of mileage out of your stamp set. So, it's like I've said for years, if the shoes were on sale, but you never wear them, it really wasn't it wasn't a smart purchase, right? So if your stamp set was free or you got it for $5, it's really only a good deal if you use it, right? And so I want to give you guys resources so you can use it. And I want that resource to expand beyond the 6 project kit that you guys are going to get in the mail from me. So you have the cutting diagrams, you have the Cricut Design Space images that I've designed and that kind of thing. So if you guys like the hexagons, like all the fun welded hexagons, and you're like, man, I want to make a lot more cards using those, great, you can, because you have access to all of these Cricut cuts now that you can go and make as many of them as your little heart desires, right? So just some fun resources for you guys to have that you can get, a lot of use, a lot of mileage out of your stamp set, so that at the end of the day, you feel like it's been a really great investment, right? And if you're a VIP and you qualified, you're going to earn it for free. So it's, I guess, technically not an investment. So if you guys have questions about this or any of the projects, or, if you want to grab just the files, maybe you are a consultant and you want to offer a class to your own customers, or maybe you want to use these as an incentive like I am, or maybe you just want to allow your customers to use the files as a resource if they get the stamp of the month. That's totally up to you. But if you're a consultant and you might like to grab the cutting files by themselves, you can do that over at the blog, all the way down to the bottom at that link that I'm going to post down in the comments below. So again, if you guys have questions, please feel welcome to reach out to me. I'm so happy to serve in whatever way that I'm able. And as I mentioned, I still do have a few add-on kits left, and they are ready to ship out. So if you guys have questions, shout at me. Until then, I will see you next time.